So what we're standing on here right now is where the main or north pit for the Mount Milligan project will be developed. It's where we're going to start our production mining, and in time this will develop into a pit some 400 meters deep.
It's going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. It's going to provide jobs and many, many opportunities, which we can all look forward to.
We are all in dire need of economic generation, and with the fall of the forestry industry, there is a challenge for each community to be able to sustain itself, and often the need to be able to do that is so great.
For as long as the North has been around, it's been resource-based. The world economy transition in the last few years has greatly impacted the North. The diversification is something that has to happen in northern BC. This mining opportunity is new, it's valuable, and it's being embraced because it allows communities to see a sustainable future. And I don't mean that from an environmental perspective, I mean from a real human perspective. Kids coming back to the community for work that's going to keep them there to raise their families, and also to help the communities reestablish their infrastructure.
Just a lot of things that we don't have in McLeod Lake. We need school, we will need a gas station. Having a school, our children don't have to travel 45 minutes every single day just to go to school.
Seeing that the forest industry is a little slow right now and the way things are going, so it'll be a great thing for everybody that lives in this community for sure, yes.
This mine is going to provide revenues for our people that can target our health, our youth, and our elders, so we can build our community the way we would like to. It's going to allow a certain amount of self-sufficiency so we can get that school, that gas station, and all the other stuff that our membership wants.
There's a great confidence in the mine and in the possibilities that are happening. We see it as a continuous evolution of our natural resources. There are so many hopes and aspirations that are almost hanging on this project.
This project means a lot to our community for many reasons. First of all, it's within our traditional territory, and we want to make sure that it's done responsibly and environmentally sustainable as possible.
Everybody supports the mine because it's a new opportunity. They support jobs. Not everybody may support what an open pit mine of that magnitude looks like at the end, and some of the untoward impacts that may occur. So, an operation that large that's going to exist for a tenure that long is going to have issues. And not everybody is going to be happy with those.
It's very important that we understand, and they understand, that this is a mining project. So one day the mine will end. We'll mine out everything that we went there to mine, and we'll go into a reclamation and land restoration phase. At that point in time, we don't want to surprise people that this is going to happen, that we want people to understand that there is a life to this mine, so the benefits that accrue to the communities are managed in a way that when the end of the project comes, that the closure of the mine won't put these communities into yet another crisis.
I think the mining industry has earned the reputation it's got. It didn't just get there because without actually doing something or not doing something. So it inherits and owns the responsibility around the reputation.
The Community Sustainability Committee was formed because this mine is of tense interest to the region. It's beyond a community or two. When all these different communities identified themselves and started coming forward to us, we said we needed a way to facilitate all of what their interests were and try to work towards commonalities. And despite the fact that they're small towns with similar backgrounds and not that far away, there can be a world of difference between one community and the next. What we'll be doing is empowering this committee to make recommendations and go beyond that to terrain. And so it's handing over some of our social contracts in some regards to this committee. So it's a big step for everybody involved.
They wanted to hear what our issues were and what are the kinds of things that maybe our community needed. I guess they empowered us to be part of their plan.
The question of sustainability, is a highly personalized one. Obviously, everyone that you speak to has a slightly different vision on that, and that's fine. What we needed to do was to ensure that the broader perspective of all these individuals was housed together in something what Terrain could grapple with and Terrain could come to terms with.
The Community Sustainability Committee essentially set its own mandate. It described for itself what sustainability means.
Terrain does not lead the discussions when it comes to us sitting down. It's the communities that bring issues forward. It's the communities that have set the terms of reference for the groups. It's the communities that have made requests of Terrain for certain aspects of information, and it is community driven.
Our commitment is that this is a forum that will be ongoing, place where we will share information with the communities about what we're planning about the project, listen to them about what their views, concerns, ideas are, and have them validate that or give us ideas. These people care very passionately about the communities and want to really see them develop and meet their own goals.
We're trying to work regionally and think regionally about these benefits and recognizing that what's good for one community is good for us all. But there's a natural instinct to have in the back of your mind, okay, but if they get that, what about us, and how is that going to impact us? So I think one of the struggles will be to continue to focus on regional benefits.
There's always going to be a bit of a tug of war. I think you always want to have, or you always will have, a bit of a me first attitude in a community, because that's why you're representing your community and you're representing your community interests, and you also have to sort of represent your region in a sense as well. But you never have that perfect balance. And every community has different priorities. I think they all have economic development priority, and they all want to see growth in the communities.
Everyone who comes has to come with an open mind and a willingness to roll up their sleeves and work, and they've done that. They've been very good about that. That's not to say that we're not going to face more challenges in the future, but it's a group that wants to work together.
I think what happens is you start to get a human face on the company. It's not a corporate entity located in back east or Vancouver or something like that. These people are real and they're touchable and you can communicate with them. So I think the community is building up a strong trust in the company and fairly high expectations that trust will continue.
It's about the people that you deal with, and from my involvement with Terrain, they've been upfront right from the beginning, and to my knowledge, and I expect to see that moving forward. We're going to have concerns that are going to come forth in the future, but with us at the Sustainability Committee, we'll be able to address those issues in a timely manner, whereas if we were not part of that, it may be harder to get movement.
If there's infilling of that group.
We also entrust this committee to be sort of our spokesmen at a community level, which is again an element of the faith and the confidence we have in these individuals to speak into their communities about the project.
To be able to be stopped on the street or somebody come in my office and ask me questions, I'm able to get those answers if I don't already know the answer. And I think that's very key, especially in our situation right now where there are so many people hurting. There's a lot of people out of work, a lot of people waiting for something to happen with that road, with the mine.
But this committee represents all the people who are going to be impacted, in my opinion, in a meaningful way. And if not everyone's represented, they're connected enough through their communities to get that opinion and give people opportunity to comment. I can't think of a better way to get people together talking about the real issues than what they've done. It may not be new. I think it's quite innovative in the setting that they've done it. And I think they would have been remiss to do anything different than they've done now.
They've taken opportunity and taken time to do this. A lot of big companies don't. They just move forward without engaging the community and not even asking the questions.
They now are having a dialogue where they can look at what they want to build together with the mining project as a platform, but there will be other things that will ladder off of that by virtue of them having a working relationship. So the mining company, in a way, brings them together to have that conversation, enables them to have that conversation by providing some seed funding and things like that, and allows the community to really sit down and talk with each other about the long term.
I'm thankful for the opportunity to sit at the table and understand how I can add insight, provide guidance, kind of connecting some of the dots in a region that is massive, with populations that are disparate and spread out and are significantly different from community to community. So if there's a way to think collaboratively, collectively, I think it's very, very important in today's global economy.
And the committee has been extraordinarily beneficial for Terrain in formulating our applications to government, which include not only detailed environmental and mine planning information, but also socioeconomic impacts.
Public meetings in communities have allowed them to shape their mind to some of those expectations.
We have to monitor this very carefully throughout the life of the mine, and we will, into the closure period as well. We'll be held bonding on this site for several decades, at least, maybe more, till well after the mine is closed.
The whole idea of social license for new resource development projects is really important to recognize, and companies just can't come in and be able to operate without the engagement of the community and the footprint that they're doing this. And we're seeing, not only with Terrain, but we're seeing that change. There's a groundswell shift in industrial development everywhere.
A good solid community voice and backing is only a positive corporate relationship, and something that I think they understand now that they need it, and they want it, which is good. You need both of those.
It's interesting that this sustainability committee is in existence and has been embedded into the mine operation. As I understand, it's been suggested that other mines look at this model as well.
Well, I think the Community Sustainability Committee really should be just a fundamental part of how proponents operate within an area. There is a social responsibility. While you're there, you have a large impact, and I think that it's important to work with communities to assist them in taking advantage of the opportunities that you're bringing, but also to provide a venue where you can consider building legacy projects that will continue on long after mine life.
We will be judged on the results, and the result is, will there be a mine that businesses can link to and provide services to? So I think there's lots of promise, lots of high expectations. Being able to manage those expectations and being able to put dollars in people's pockets, I think is critically important.
I think the benefits will be seen at the end by being involved early with communities. There's a lot of people who were a little fearful of what mining is and now understand not only how it operates, but how it takes care of itself when it's complete, and how it restores what it's damaged to some degree, because mining is about disturbing and moving the earth, so that at the end of the day it's not a bad thing. Mineral resources can be extracted and value can be added to communities.
What do the people on the committee say? What's their experience? Is it something that is superficial, or is it something that has substance to it? And I think the longer term is, it'll be years before we can really demonstrate, the full suite of what we hope this committee can do.